Okay, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Let me see, did I do this correctly? I hope so. I feel like I did something different. Not sure. Let me see. I posted from my, let me see. I think I did this wrong. Good morning, Ray Chanel. Good morning, Rose. Let me see. Did I do this wrong? I swear to God, I spend more time in the morning trying to figure this stuff out. There we go. Let's see. And then, just sharing out right now. Please like and share yourselves if you can. That would be great. Just trying to get it out there. We do have a pop-up happening for relationships only on this Saturday, the 4th. And so what it's going to be is I'm going to pull 2 cards for each person. 2 cards per reading. One for the seeker, the person who's asking, and then one for the other person in the relationship. And it can be any relationship. It can be a work-related relationship. It can be a love-related relationship. It can be a brother, sister, whatever relationship you kind of want to look at. It's just going to be like a brief, what is that? It's just going to be like a brief, overview of what's going on in the relationship. So it's like mini reads just to kind of give you guys an idea of what I do, because I do much more extensive relationship readings that have a lot more cards involved. But it's just going to move fast and be fun. What I'm doing is, because the last time we did a pop-up, I had 19 people donate, and it got kind of crazy, and I felt really fried the next day. So I'm only taking a certain amount of reservations. That's why you guys have seen that post around about reservations being taken now. So that way I'm not like running around crazy bonkers trying to figure out who paid, who didn't pay, who's in line. I'm trying to actually create the list ahead of time so that it's a much more cleaner video where we go right through from reading to reading to reading, because I will be reading relationships between 2 people. The one thing I do need from you is, if you do make a reservation, please put relationship pop-up in the notes and the name of the other person, your name and that other person's name, because I use both names as I'm shuffling to look at the relationship. So that's how that works. So that's kind of important. If not, if you forget to do that, that's okay. Just be present during the reading time, which will be Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that way you can give me the name if you forget to put it in the reservation notes. So at a certain point, I'm going to cut off reservations if I get full. And if not, then I will take them live. But live, it just gets kind of bonkers, because then all of a sudden, like, donations, everybody starts getting excited and wants a reading all of a sudden. And, donations start flying in. And then I've got like all of these people that I need to read, and I feel obligated to read, and it gets kind of messy. The energy gets messy, and I feel a little scattered, and I definitely felt it the next day. Not that I didn't appreciate it. I love the fact that we had so much fun. I love the fact that everybody was there, that everybody was present. But I'm trying this reservation thing, giving you guys a little bit of a heads up, so that if you think you want a little mini relationship reading, you can book it, pay for it, be assured to have it, and then that way, other joiners in are just going to have to sit out, or, if I feel up for taking a few extras, I will, depending on how we go. But I'm really going to only allow maybe 10 to 12 reservations, because that's like a lot of different energy to connect to. Good morning, Anne. Good morning, Belen. Good morning, Ducky. Hey, Kathy. So let's look at today's card. I have the plumbers coming back today. They're assessing it yet again. I still don't know what was going on with the plumbers, with my plumbing issue at the other house. And I have a showing at this house at 10 o'clock for somebody who's looking at possibly wanting to see it to buy it. So we'll see how that goes. So I have been up since I think 4 this morning, kind of stressing out and worried, and making the bed and trying to make everything look nice. And, I don't know, whatever. It is going to be what it is. So the anxiety is just, I don't like it. So let's see what today's energy brings. I hope you guys had a good day yesterday with the Lovers card. And we also had that creativity card backing it up from Sunday. So hopefully we were creative in finding ways to find love in our lives and in our spaces. I had a good day yesterday, I think, for the most part. Ducky and I did a little bit of work. Ducky did a lot of work on that little flyer. She did a beautiful job on creating that flyer for me for the relationship thing. And I really appreciate that. You guys can all thank Ducky for that and give her hearts and loves, because sometimes I don't know that I would have the energy or the know-how. I'm not technically savvy. I don't know how she gets the words on the picture. So, and if you guys noticed the picture, I don't know if you looked at the picture behind the announcement, but it's tarot cards spelling out dump him, which I thought was hilarious. All right, so Tuesday, April 30th. Let's see what the energy is for today. Give me one moment. Okay, so the first thing I got is don't get in our own ways today. It feels like if we're able to not get in our own way today, we're going to do all right. That was definitely very clear from the very first shuffle. Maybe that was more a message for me than any of you, but I definitely heard don't get in your, just don't try and force it. Don't get in your own way. Things will move, just trust and, let it move as best you can. So let's look at the card. The card today is Child of Cups. It's Feeler. And this is a good card. It's a sort of how do I want to say it? Cups is the emotions, okay? So we're going to feel a lot probably today. And it's interesting because yesterday we had the Lovers. And we also have the ending of this week from Sunday's card was the Love card, which is also a Cups card. So there seems to be a lot of emotional energy, but it feels sort of positive to me. When I look at this card, to me, it feels like we might have some fun today, be a little bit extra childlike today, maybe a little bit goofy, a little bit erratic. It could be a bit of an overwhelming day for us. On a negative side, it might feel like, we might be dealing with some children, or our children, if we have a lot of children, might be out of control a little bit. But if we kind of match their energy and meet them where they're at, I think that we could actually end up having a really good day, and it could be a positive experience versus a negative experience. This card also is called Feeler, so I think that it's really important that we remember to acknowledge our feelings, both positive and negative. But I have a feeling that this is more of a positive thing today, more of like a youthful joy to it, it feels like. So if we find opportunities where we can have a giggle or have a laugh or make a joke or play a little, I say take it, go for it, run with it. I think it's a good card after the Lovers from yesterday. And I think it's also a good card because remember, we had that Four of Wands aspiration, which is that midweek card, which is a spiritual card, where I told you it's going to cause us to sort of look at what makes us feel good spiritually and aspire to that and want that and go after that. And some of us might have to fight for it depending on where our mind frame is at. If we're in a positive mind space, it's going to come to us easier than if we're in a negative, right? And I think that this feeler card allows us to feel our emotions, which also kind of allows us to sort of mold our thoughts around how we're feeling. So this could be an opportunity for us to feel really good, be childlike, be youthful, have some energy, expend some energy, try and just stay like open. You know how kids are always kind of just like open to anything and everything? This is what this card feels like to me today. It could mean that the energy might be a little bit like big and wow, and there might be a lot to not deal with, but to sort of go through for the day. But if we do it with sort of like that sort of like openness of a child or that childlike innocence, I think we'll have an easier time of it. For those of us that are a little bit down in the dumps or feeling sad, I think that's okay too. Feel those emotions and allow yourself to have those emotions. If you're hurting or if you're feeling lonely or sad, I think now this card signifies that this would be a good day to I don't want you to get stuck in them, but like to acknowledge them. There's a difference between like, you know, when we feel a feeling or an emotion, I think it's important that we feel it and we acknowledge it and we accept it for what it is. Only then can it like be allowed to energetically sort of shift and change into something new. And sometimes we have to sit with it for a little bit before it passes. But if we sit with it and we accept it, we're accepting a part of ourselves, we're validating a part of ourselves. So both positive or negative feelings, and as we validate that, we sort of can strengthen that and strengthen ourselves and our belief in ourselves. So that's always an important thing and something that we want to do. So I think that this is a good card for today. I think this is a beautiful card for today. I think it reminds us to find joy in the things we can and have a laugh and be childlike and play a little bit. For those of us, like I said, who don't feel like it's very playful right now, just feel through whatever's going on for you and try not to judge it. Children don't know much about judgment too in that way. So this being a Child of Cups card means like, don't judge your feelings. If you're not feeling so great, be easy on yourself. Treat yourself as if you were a child and sort of talk your way through it or like sort of guide yourself through these heavier or sadder emotions if that's what you happen to be facing and dealing with. Beyond that, I think that's it. So just a reminder, Saturday the 4th, right? That's what we're at, Saturday the 4th. Is that correct? Yes. Is that Love Relationship Pop-Up. That will be broadcast from my group. Please join the group. And it will also be broadcast on the YouTube channel, so you can subscribe there. Personal readings can be booked. All my information is pinned to the post in the for Facebook. And I usually, now I've been on YouTube, I have been putting my information in the description. I do a little description of the card in the description section, and then I add the same contact information there. So you can find that information there or at the About Me page on YouTube. So I hope that you guys, Ducky says, I act like I'm 2 years old. I got this today. You do, Ducky. You got it. This is your day to be validated for that. So have a good day, and I will talk to you all. I'll probably see you all tomorrow. I mean, for sure, I'll see you all tomorrow, unless, I get inspired to get on like something tonight or something. All right. Thank you, Belen. You have a great day too. I'm glad you needed to hear this, Anne. I'm glad. Go ahead and acknowledge your feelings, accept them, whatever they may be, both positive and negative, and just allow them to sort of, don't get stuck in them. Don't get bogged down in them. Don't judge them. Remember, treat yourself almost as if you're a child and you need to just care for yourself. Okay? Have a great day, you guys. I'm going to sign off for now. I got stuff I got to go do. All right. Bye.